Hey, what's up everyone, it's JoypadJake here and welcome to our next retro game review. Today's review will be on F-Zero, which released for the Super Nintendo in 1990 in Japan, 91 in the US, and 92 in Europe. Everyone start your engines and let's get into the story. Our story takes place in the year 2560, where an association of wealthy space merchants are holding the F-Zero Grand Prix. 4 racers take to the track, with the victor having the highest claim to fame known in the universe. As far as the story goes, there isn't really much of one, and what is present is pretty basic. The characters aren't really characters, and the overall plot doesn't stand out. However, the game does do a good job of creating a world where these futuristic races can take place. The lack of a story isn't really a bad thing in this case, as the core focus of the game is the racing aspect, which leads us nicely into the gameplay. The gameplay of F-Zero is pretty simple, and the controls are very tight and responsive. The B button is used to accelerate, and the A button activates your turbo speed. The L button is used to lean left, while the R button is used to lean right. You can also use either the Y or X button to brake. Pressing up on the D-pad will pitch nose up, while pressing down on the D-pad will do the opposite. As you're racing, if you run into walls or other racers, you'll take a bit of damage and your power meter in the top right corner will slowly decrease. Once this meter is empty, your car gets blown to smithereens and you have to start over. To account for this, many of the tracks have repair strips that you can access to gain some of your power back, though some are more difficult to access than others depending on which track you're racing on. Sometimes going for these can be a bit of a gamble, but it's so rewarding if you successfully pull it off. Overall, this game is a blast to play and still holds up over 30 years later. The design of this game is definitely something to praise. The tracks in this game are all uniquely designed with their own obstacles and challenges. I also really love the design of each of the vehicles, as they all stand out in their own way. My favorite of the vehicles is definitely the Blue Falcon, which I know sounds like a generic answer, but it just looks so cool. Though in all honesty, all of the vehicles in this game look cool. An easy second place for me goes to the Wild Goose. Some of my favorite racetracks in the visual department are Mute City, Big Blue, Whiteland, and the Firefield. The high quality design is definitely present in this game, and it's one of the many good aspects. This game has so many good elements that make it a ton of fun to play even to this day. Racing on its own is an absolute blast. The fast-paced nature of this game always gets my blood pumping, and I'm never bored for a second while playing this game. The visuals are very good, especially for the time, and I haven't even mentioned the soundtracks yet. This game has some of the best songs in the entire Super Nintendo library. The tunes are so catchy and really fit the tone of the racetracks that they're placed on. Now that I've spent so much time praising this game, let's get into its bad aspects, though there really aren't very many. In all honesty, the one single problem that I have with this game is that it doesn't have a multiplayer mode, and that's a huge bummer because this is pretty much the ideal game to play with a friend. Can you imagine the absolute carnage that would result in 2 players racing to the finish line while chaos is unleashed all around them? It would be such a blast. That's really my only notable problem with this game, and it won't hurt the score too badly, as I am still proud to give F-Zero a very strong 9 out of 10. Thank you all for watching this review, and I hope you enjoyed yourselves. If that was the case, please leave a like, drop your thoughts in the comments, share this video with your friends, and definitely subscribe if you'd like to see more. Peace out, guys.